What's up, guys? It's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Buildit video, and we are talking about how to make coins. This is part 3 of the video that I'm putting up this morning. This is kind of the moment that you've all been waiting for, is for me to open up the game and really dive in and show you guys what to do. Like, physically, what are you doing on here, on your game, to make it happen? Because it's all fun and dandy to talk about, but it's another thing to actually do. So the very first thing is, what are you doing today on your game? That's number one, okay? Because let's face it, you have a set amount of storage available to you. And I don't know what that storage amount is. Everybody's is different. I don't know what level you are, okay? So I also don't know what you got going on in your game. Maybe you are a high-level player with a low amount of storage and you are holding 150 VU and you're just screwed. Okay, that's not going to work. It's just not going to work. You're going to have to figure something out. So that's number one, is figuring out what it is that you're doing today. Okay, and that should be done every day. You should not be opening up your game doing whatever. You should have a game plan. You should say, all right, today I am designing this corner of my city. Today I am doing an epic project. Today I am working on the contest of mayors. Or today I'm going to try to make some damn coins because I'm sick of being broke. Today I'm going to pick up Missy's production guide and I'm going to try because I'm sick of this. Now, the first thing is you have to decide what you're doing. You cannot do everything at once, okay? You can try to kind of do a little of everything here and there once you get on your feet, but you can't do everything at once efficiently, 100% efficiently. You're not going to be able to run the production plan 100% efficiently and play the contest. That's impossible, okay? Because the contest of mayors is going to make you produce things that don't follow the guide. You're going to have to prep things that you would not otherwise prep. And you're going to have to do tasks that you otherwise wouldn't be doing that part of the game. Maybe it's a monster task. That's something you wouldn't normally be doing, right? So that is going to cost items, which is going to cost, things that you're doing and so forth. So the very first thing that you need to do when you're looking at how to make money, there's a couple key things when it comes to money in this game. That is inventory, coin, and spending. Okay? So you've got income, spending, inventory. Now, very first thing that you need to control before you even think of making money is your spending. That's number one. Okay? Because you have to start realizing where these coins are going. It doesn't matter if you have a steady income if you also have a steady outgoing. Okay? So if you have this problem where it's like, oh, I'm making $20,000 a day and I'm spending $18,000 a day. So your idea is to make $40,000 a day and spend $38,000 a day. So you're really in the same rut you were in, but you're just spending and making more. That's just going to continue down the same path, right? So the very first thing that you need to do is say, where's my money going? That's number one, okay? Everybody's money is being spent somewhere. Now, if you're following my videos, then you guys really shouldn't be broke if you're really following my advice. So here's the first thing. Road upgrades and services. Those two things. Cut those out entirely. Okay? So you are going to set your roads up to never need upgraded again. It's not going to drop your happiness. And if you do not know what that is, you need to watch that video. It's labeled Never Upgrade My Roads Again video. You'll thank me later, okay? There is a way to set your roads up. You'll never have to upgrade them again, and your happiness will not drop, okay? You can upgrade the roads when you want to. Now, that is going to save you a ton, and I mean a ton of money, All right? That's number one. Now that you've got your roads in order, services, you need to figure out what the hell is going on with your services. Are you a high-level player and you're working on buying Omega services? That's a whole nother thing. We can deal with that later. But for most of you low-level players that are in this vicious cycle of upgrade houses, upgrade services, or maybe you're not upgrading houses. Maybe you're just boosting pop and upgrading services. Stop. Okay? First off, I don't know what level you are, but if you are following the Missy's Building Guide, if you're a low-level player, you want to reach a certain amount of population to unlock key features in the game, and then stop. You don't need to go and put yourself in a rut where you've got 800,000 people in your city, and you've just spent the last 4 months buying a ton of services to support all these people just to have a high number. You're not going to benefit at all by doing that. Yeah, okay, you're going to get taxes. Not very much. Not anywhere near what you're spending on services. And not to mention, who cares? So what? You have a lot of people. Who gives a shit? I mean, really. If that's what's important to you, then make that important at the right time. Right now, when you're in the foundation of your city between levels 1 and 24, that is not the right time to be dealing with that. This is the time to be banking in on money. The time to be converting homes into epics so that you don't have a high service demand. Okay, that's the other thing. When you convert a home into an epic project, it is lowering your service demand than if you were to build, let's say, an Omega home or a airport home, right? So not only that, but you're getting a speed token. So stop buying services. Now, let's say you're at the point where you haven't reached the pop that you need to unlock the airport and you still have to buy services. Buy the correct services. Buy them not when you need them, but when you can afford them. Okay? That is key. That is seriously. This goes for hospitals, police, and fire as well. Let's say that you're a level 18 player or a level 11 player, or it doesn't even matter. I don't care what level player you are. You're playing the game and you're running out of places to put homes. Okay? You need a hospital, you need a police department, and a fire department. You are just short of being able to buy the hospital, right? So you go and buy the health clinic. No. No! It's a waste of money. Why would you do that? To shut them up now? The hell with them. Let them move out. They'll be back. They know what's good for them. I mean, really though, what could possibly happen that you would need to spend, let's say, $14,000 on this dinky tiny one to please a couple homes over just getting the correct one in the first place? That way you save money, right? Oh, is your happiness going to drop a couple percent? I mean, what? You don't have a couple hours to make some coin? Even if it takes even if it drops 10%, the amount of taxes you're going to lose in that 10% is like nothing. And it's not even going to be forever, you know? So don't do that. Don't make that mistake. And this goes for sewage, power, water. Do not make that mistake. Okay? If you need to, take away some pop boosters for a little bit. Don't bulldoze homes, right? Don't bulldoze your houses. Take away some pop boosters. Let them suffer. Okay? They will live. When you go to buy services, sewage, water, power, do not buy the one that you can afford. And only the one you can afford. Buy the one that turns the highest amount per dollar. Okay? So in this case, if you calculate up the cost versus the coverage, the best option that you have, obviously, is the coal power plant. Okay? Now, there's also an issue with pollution square. Is that what's important to you? Do you have Omega unlocked yet? If you have Omega unlocked, you really should start working on getting the Omega services. They are the best. They are the best in the term that they are clean, They cover a lot, okay? So for 4 squares of space, you're getting 100 coverage, right? For 4 squares of space, you're getting shit. That's what you're getting. 24 space. Or 24 power for 4 space versus 100. Now, you really you want to do the right thing. So, early on in the game, buy the coal power, okay? After that, then you're going to have waste management. The best one here is the garbage incinerator, okay? Now, either the middle one or the end one. This one here has a really high price tag. It does not have a pollution square, so there's that. However, neither does this one. And this one's a better option. So if you're going for no pollution square, I highly recommend that you wait until you have Omega unlocked. This is going to save you a ton of money. Just buying the right services at the right time when you can afford it. Don't say, you know what, I've got these people bitching at me. I'm just going to buy them the quick, cheap one because I don't have enough to buy the one I need. So then what ends up happening is you either end up bulldozing the little one or you end up buying more little ones because let's face it, how many people here buy a little one, shut the people up, and then never make money for the big one because the people have shut up? So you just go on about your day and you forget about it until it happens again. And then what happens, it's like a cycle. Now it happened again and now you have no money for it again. So now you're buying a little one again. And it's just this process. And then eventually this process continues. And now all of a sudden you're looking at your map and you've got 10 different kinds of services here going, oh, this isn't ideal. Now you've got all this space taken up, all this coin wasted. You've got coins wasted on roads, coins wasted on services, parks, stupid things you don't need. And you've got little hospitals over here and big fire departments over there. And it's just chaos. There's no structure. There's no calculating anything into efficiency or anything. It's all just, this is what I could afford, so that's what I did. No. No. Stop playing like that, okay? The only reason you're playing like that is because you care about your happiness. Well, guess what? The hell with them. Seriously, the hell with them. If you let their house burn, you know what's going to happen? Oh, damn well. They're going to burn, okay? They're going to sit there. They're going to blow smoke and bitch and blow their opinion bubbles in your face. And they're going to gripe and complain, and your taxes are going to drop like $50, and then you're going to fucking be like, you know what? That's nice, don't care. That's nice, don't care. And when you have money to care, they'll be like, oh, thank you, Mayor. Here's your $50. That's what's going to happen, okay? So stop worrying about what the hell they think. The hell with them. You got shit to do. They don't understand. They ain't the boss, so the hell with them, all right? Now that we've established the hell with them, you can make them a gorgeous city with being productive, but if you constantly feed into the game's nagging, more, you'll never have anything. Okay? And this has a lot to do with making money. Keeping money that you make. Okay? So now that you've got services, hospitals, roads out of the way, what else could you be spending money on? Upgrades, flights, contest of mayors, epic projects, war deliveries. That's what you're spending money on, right? Upgrading shops. What else could you be spending coin on? So how often do you upgrade shops? Not too often, right? Now you've got this piddly ass chump change that they give you in taxes. That's not something to live off of. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's something for you to just kind of benefit here and there. Now, you've cut all spending on global. You're done. You're not touching the global market at all for right now. Okay? Now, you're not doing an epic today. Today you're trying to make money, remember? You're camping, so you're not doing house upgrades, okay? You're trying to make money. You're not doing war deliveries. War deliveries, big, big, big ripoff, okay? So no war deliveries, no house upgrades, no epic project today. What are you doing with items that you're purchasing? Where are they going? Are you doing airport flights? Those are a ripoff. Unless you're doing them for an assignment, don't do those at all. Okay? I mean, for some low-level players, yes, sometimes you can benefit, but it's rare. Now, you're not doing flights. You're not doing upgrades. You're not doing epic. What are you doing? Where's your money going? You're not really spending money now, huh? So you can buy items and do some VU repair. But really, realistically, you're not really spending money right now, right? So now you go on global, right? And you start purchasing things that you need. And purchasing rare items. That's where a lot of money goes, okay? Rare items. Now you want to say, I have controlled my spending. I want to do an epic project tomorrow. An epic project is a huge hit to the bank, okay? It's like $150,000 for a level 24 player of inventory. It's a huge, huge, huge hit to take. You're taking an obscene amount of items and you are literally donating them for free. Ka-ching, 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 gone, okay? Now, you've been able to bypass the roads, stop the constant service demand increase. You've stopped doing war deliveries because those are a ripoff. And you have stopped spending money on the global market. You're just producing now, okay? So now, what do? You need to control your inventory. That's the next step. So right now, you want to set it up to where your shops are running maximum efficiency. So you've got my production guide, and you open up your game, and your game is like mine, and your inventory is full. And you're like, well, this is fun. Now what do I do? So you go over and you start selling stuff. Well, you got to figure out what it is you're going to sell, because you could really lose money if you sell the wrong thing. Now, you're thinking, well, how do I lose money by selling something? Oh, believe me, it happens. Okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how it happens. So, I'm actually prepping for a timed epic right now. And that being said, that's why my inventory is as full as it is. So, right here, we've got my inventory. Okay? I've got, as you can see, quite a bit of stuff that I've had to produce for my epic. Now, if I want to make space, what do you think I should sell? Should I sell off all kinds of this stuff just because I have a lot of it? No. Anything here that isn't on the production list of items that are profitable is foolish to sell. Okay? So, right now, I have a bunch of VU. I'm not going to sell my VU. There's no way. Why would I sell it? I would rather launch it and get keys than sell it. Now I've got storage. I'd rather use that for the walkthrough city or trade it. So there's that. Then I've got my dozer. And then I've got these stupid war items that I would rather launch. But more importantly, the reason I don't want to sell them is because it's tedious to try to put all these up for sale. And they take up a lot of space in my depot because you can only post one at a time. So now I've got my factory items. But I kind of need those to fill my shops up. So I really have very minimal amount of leverage right now for what I have going on because I'm prepping for an epic. If I wasn't prepping for an epic, things would be a little bit different here. Now, in your guys' case, you want to look at how to free up some space here. So any factory items, you're going to go through and try to fill up your shops. Okay, so since I'm prepping for an epic, I know that I need a lot of melon, and that's why I have these items making. But in your case, you're making money today. You're not making product that you need. You're making product that sells for good money. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up the production guide and you're going to say, okay, let's look at the whole thing first. Let's look at everything that I need to do in this guide. And if it says to make caps all day and all night, then you go over here and you see if you have the materials to get this stuff going. Then you look at the nighttime run and you say, okay, for tomorrow, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to make this my daily plan. I'm going to set all my stuff up the night before. You're going to look at all the materials that are needed to do this production plan so that you have them available to you in the morning. That way, you kind of have to keep one step ahead of the game in order to run this production plan the way that it's written. Okay? So, hypothetically speaking, let's say that you were able to fill up the shop with some caps here. Okay? Now you've got that squared away for the time being until you can figure out how to get the other materials acquired to get you going. Now, each shop, as long as you can get something producing, you can collect one, and then start getting something producing. So there's my chair. Now I'm going to go back over here. Now I've got 5 space, 1, 1, 1, and then say, okay, I know I have to make hammers, so there's the wood over there. Do I have the grass to make grass, or the shovels to make grass? And you're just going to keep going like this and say, okay, I can get this many of these thrown down, and you're going to do the best that you can to get everything on the list going as best as you can, right? Now, once you've got all your shops full for what you need to make maximum efficiency, then you say, okay, my shops are running. Let's just pretend we've got all the flour in the world making right here. We've got all of our donuts set up. We've got our nails set up now. We're going to put down our hammers and our tape. Whoop. Saving all this stuff for my epic, so it's kind of... Okay, so in this case, we can't make it anything that we need to, so we're going to have to make up a little room here. So we're going to put up something for sale that we don't need, that isn't an item that we're going to want to, have to buy back. Now we've got these token pieces sitting here, taxes uncollected, so I'm actually going to start a token on the barn, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to collect these. Okay. And since I started that token and I don't have any feed, I'm going to make seeds here. And try to get everything filled up the best that I can. Now in this case, I'm producing things that I know that I need for my epic project. That's kind of why all of my stuff is set up like with microwaves and such, right? I really want to beat my 14-minute time. But in your guys' case, we're pretending that you guys are doing this to make coin. So if I were to come in here and I were to start selling my backpacks, what do you think is going to happen? I'm not going to find those on Global when I need them. I'm going to have to make those again. And every minute I spend making those versus something that I should be making to make money, I'm actually basically saying I could have made $10,000 making this, but because I sold this, I now have to make this back, which yields way less coin. And now I'm making less money. So what ends up happening is people get into this process where they sell to group members all day. Like, oh, here's one ladder. Oh, here's one melon. Oh, here's one of this. And it starts to add up. Okay, it really does. And then you start to notice that you need that stuff. And so instead of you being able to purchase that stuff on Global, you slowly start cutting in to your production. And you start saying, okay, well, I'm just going to make one melon. I'm just going to make, 2 of these, 3 of those, and then go back on, like, maybe you've got 9 donuts set in play, but now you've got to make 2 bread rolls because you gave yours away and you're trying to get your stuff back. So every time you sell an item like that you have to produce, you're losing money, right? And it starts to add up. Every time you sell an item like that, whether it be to a group member, whether it be to global, it will add up against you, okay? People do that all the time to make space. They sell the wrong things to make space. Or they sell rare items to make space. So how many people here, I cannot tell you how many times somebody has put items for sale that were rare. And I'm like, why are you doing that? They're like, oh, to make room. And I'm like, you couldn't find anything else in your inventory to make space to where you needed to sell 3 dozer that badly. You just needed that 3 space that badly. You couldn't find anything else that you could have gotten rid of. And then I have them send me a screenshot of their inventory, and I see they're sitting there with 25 seeds. And I'm like, why didn't you sell 3 seeds? Oh, I have to make flour. So? You still would have been better off selling 3 seeds. Or how about the metal you have sitting there? Oh, well, I'm using that. So? It takes 1 minute. You can find it on Global. Why would you sell 3 dozer? Oh, I needed coins. You really needed 800 coins that badly. You couldn't make metal for a couple minutes to make up that 800 bucks in that 3 space. You just had to sell your dozer. That's foolish. Absolutely foolish. Okay? So there's no excuse for that. That's just total ignorance is what that is. Okay? That's dumb. Now, if you can sit here with factory slots available, if you can make, look, 125 bucks for plastic. If you can make, look. Right here, okay? 100 bucks. That's what you make in 3 minutes. Okay? So you come over here and you do this 8 times. I mean, you make 40 wood. That's your 1 dozer that you sold. 3 minutes of your time, and you saved yourself that 1 dozer. You couldn't find anything else to sell. That's my point. People do this crap all the time. Now, you want to set things up that you want to make money. So how do you juggle the contest and making money? How are you going to do that, right? So here's what you do. You think about the contest and you say, okay, I'm playing the contest competitively, and I want to prep my shops for the contest, but I really need to make money as well. How can I make money and prep my shops for the contest? That's going to be tricky. But the best thing that you can do is say, okay, I'm going to prep flour for the contest, right? So what you can do is you can say, I'm going to have 10 items done. They're all right. Say there's 10 flowers sitting here ready for collection. And I click on a different shop, and I scroll over with the arrow, and I have one down making. So now there's 11 flour done. I collect 1 of them, and I put 1 more down. So I always have 10 ready for pickup and 1 producing. Now, what if you have to produce something else for the contest that doesn't fall into making money? How can you make money and play calm? That's going to be tricky. It really is. Because here's what you're going to have to do. Let's say that you have to produce cream and paint and ladders and things like that, right? And let's say that you're sitting there with ladders done for a task that you haven't collected on just yet. But you don't want to touch the ladders, but you want to make money. Well, what do? You're going to have to collect 1 of them, right? And start making something. But you can't, because if you collect too many of them, then you have nothing done. And if you produce what they're asking you to produce, you're making less money. So should you keep producing what they're asking you to produce so that you have something making, or should you simply do nothing? If you can easily purchase the materials, you should continue making whatever it is that they are having you make, right? Now, let's say that you have, here's what a lot of people do. They have, let's say, some downtime between tasks. Maybe it's the middle of the night, okay? And they're like, well, I have a ladders task that I'm doing, and I can't do it yet. I don't know if I'm going to be collecting on it, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. I've also got a feed task that I know I'm doing, and I have 5 more hours that I did the first round, and maybe I have to wait 5 more hours for the second round. What do I do in that 5 hours worth of time? Do I sit there and allow all my shops to just be doing nothing? Absolutely not. If you have a task that you know for a fact is going to be taking up X amount of time, then you need to utilize that and get all your other tasks prepped. And then once that is done, once all those other tasks are prepped, then you take that time to amp up your other shops, the ones that are not being asked anything of you. Okay, so let's say that you have production for your barn and your building supply store, but nothing in your fashion store. What's keeping you from running caps in your fashion store all day? Nothing. You're just not doing it because you're so focused on everything else. You can't do that. If anytime that you have downtime, utilize it. Okay? Anytime that you go over and you have a token just sitting here uncollectible, use the damn token and go collect your pieces so that you can. It's being wasted one way or another. It's either being wasted on actually producing something, or it's just sitting there on the top of your building wasting time, right? Which do you prefer? Would you rather get something, or would you rather get nothing? Right? So try to get those collected the best you can. Now, it's the contest, and you have to hold a bunch of items that you wouldn't normally hold, making it very difficult for you to run production, right? That is going to be another problem. You have to hold, let's say, certain items to produce certain things, or maybe you're in my position where you're doing an epic project and you can't figure out how to juggle everything. That is where the problem kind of comes in play. That's kind of where the challenge comes in. Item management. What do you rid yourself of? What do you sell? That right there is going to have everything to do with money. What you sell and what you buy and what you make, okay? If you're making the most profitable and selling the least profitable and then having to make the most profitable again, you're counter-reacting it out. So if you make donuts and you turn around and sell your ladders and then have to go and make your ladders again, you just canceled out everything you made with the donuts, right? If you go and you make donuts and flour and caps all day long and you don't sell your good items and you just sell those, you're going to make some money, right? If you want to be successful, you're going to have to play all 3 ways. You're going to have to control your spending, okay? That's a lot of it. You guys don't understand how much you spend. I'm going to tell you right now that most people, if they're smart, they keep a certain amount of space when they shop on the global market. Usually what people do when they play quite a bit is they are working on an assignment. They have, maybe they have, some time. Maybe it's an hour. Maybe they're waiting for energy to rebuild back up to do their war task. Maybe they're waiting on some paint to finish up on a token. And so they have a little bit of time. Okay. So they decide they're going to go shop on the global market, look for some rares. Now they've got this, this inventory space available, like 50 space or whatever. And they get their gift boxes and it starts to fill up. And so what they do is they start buying things that they see in people's depots. You know, maybe they buy some cream or some whatever they find, okay? And you spend money. And next thing you know, you come back, you found like 2 rares, and you're $50,000 in the hole because you have all these items that you just bought, right? Now, that's fine, but that's where your money goes. So it's not really that you're out of money. It's just sitting in your inventory right now. You could sell it and get your money back, right? So what do you do with the product? What are you doing with the product that you just bought? You either turn around and sell it to somebody else, or you use it for something, right? So how many people here, when they have a house upgrade, they just do it? When you are doing house upgrades, how many people here even look at the materials when there's a green check mark? Not many. Most people just say, oh, green check mark, do it. Don't even look twice. How many people here have war deliveries, and the moment they see a green check mark, they're like, boom, 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 boom. Donate, donate, donate. Didn't even look. That right there is a huge problem, okay? If you would have paid just the slightest bit of attention, you would have realized that one of those house upgrades just cost you $30,000, $40,000, okay? If you're a high-level player. Now, I'm not kidding you. I have been on my regional map and had my very first upgrade ask me for like 3 motors, 2 gnomes, a bread roll, 3 cheese, and I'm adding it up going, holy shit, that is a lot of money in items. And I re-roll it. I re-roll it. I am not paying that much money. Now, there was a green check mark there. I could have just done it. But no, hell no. Same thing with people that are low level. They do their VU repair, for example, or maybe they're doing a house upgrade and it asks for 20 nails. Without any hesitation at all, they just, boom, do it. 20 nails? Are you serious? Hell no. Reroll that. That is ridiculous. Okay? Shipments. Airport shipments. Do not donate, 22 planks to an airport shipment. That's foolish. Leaving out the cost of money, look at the time it takes you to make that stuff. Look at the token that you're going to have to run if you get a lawn chairs task, because now you don't have planks. So now you got to run a token to make planks, to make lawn chairs, to run a token on those. And you could have had that other token and used it towards donuts and made $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, whatever it is. That's my point. You have to really look at everything it is you're doing in the game. The next thing that you need to do is stop falling below a certain number, okay? So many people wait until they're broke to try to make money. You need to say, today's the day off from the contest. I'm going to make money, but more importantly, I'm going to stop spending my money. I'm not going on global today. And if I go on global today, I'm only purchasing storage or rare items, or items that I can purchase to make money, like textiles or whatever, cement and glue to make gnomes. Not just purchasing whatever, whenever, however, just purchase rares, or don't even go on global at all. Don't do any road upgrades. Don't do any war deliveries. You're not doing house upgrades. You're not spending money on global. Where the hell is your money going then? Right? That's what I want to know. Where's your money going? What are you doing? Okay? Stop thinking that, oh, you know how many people come to me, Missy, I've got 60,000. What should I do with it? What do you mean? That's like nothing. 60 grand is nothing. And they're like, well, I could upgrade my VU tower. Dude, what level is it? I don't know, like 5 or 6. And you only have this much money? Why would you put yourself flat broke? Stop letting it burn a hole in your pocket. If you have things like shops, time discounts, those are more important. Get those done. Okay? So many people here sell their their items for base price. That, don't even get me going on that. You should be selling everything for max, okay? Max price, always. Always, always, always. If you want to knock it down a couple cents to kind of jumble up the price, that's one thing. But you should always sell for max, okay? Even if you're like, oh, well, you know, these items don't sell as quickly. Well, if you had money in the bank, it wouldn't matter how quickly they sell because Daniel will buy them, right? You don't have to advertise your depot to global at all. You can just post them over to the right, all the way to the right of your depot, let them sit there, let Daniel deal with them because you're playing intelligently and you don't have to worry about coins that badly, right? You don't have to sit there and wait for a stack of something to sell just to have coins to buy something. How to hit 1 million coins. How to stop being broke. Do you know how funny it is when I see people complain about coin? And I run a walk-through city, okay? I also run a community depot. The community depot, I open up every day, roughly, and I fill it up with items for free that are either produced or purchased on the global market. And that depot or that city always has 200,000 coins on it. I don't do anything other than I collect the piddly ass taxes. I buy stuff on global to sell for free. And I take whatever I produce and I sell it for free. And I always have money. Why? Because I'm not really buying a lot of stuff. The little bit that I am buying and putting in the depot, I'm making back with the taxes or the... And we're talking minimal. I mean, I'm spending minimal amounts of money on the global market. But somehow, that city is never broke. Because I'm doing house upgrades on it, right? Because I'm trying to bring it up to level 24. But I'm not doing house upgrades that are asking for like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in product. I'm not doing that. I'm re-rolling it to get ones that ask for like $300 in product. That's the other thing. It's not just about the cost, it's about the product itself. Let's say it's asking for paint instead of something else that is maybe more money. Let's say that something asked me for a 10 paint versus, let's say, 6 gnome or something, okay? The 6 gnome, let's say 6 gnome sells for more than 10 paint. So it costs more. It's not just about cost, it's about the product itself. I would rather keep my 10 paint. They're more valuable to me than the coins that I could get. I can get gnomes all day long on global, right? Paint is more valuable to me. It takes longer to make and it yields a less profit. This is what you guys need to do. You have got to get more on top of your game. Like right now, okay? I can set this up to where I can start producing, you know, caps and things like that. So we open this up, we get the cap going. We've stopped all spending. Now, the next thing is staying focused on the mission at hand here. Not, what is it that you do all day on your game? Because a lot of people, they really just kind of dilly-dally around all day. A lot of people really don't do much of anything, you know. They kind of open up their shops here and there. They chat on the group chat. They do an assignment here or there. They leave shops empty. They leave items uncollected. They leave, you know, stuff unfinished. Then they don't re-roll anything. They don't stay on top of everything. Or they get sidetracked doing something else and forget about other stuff. That's one of my problems, is I'll go to like a regional map and I'll start designing and I'll forget about a token and I'll come back and half my token's gone. And that sucks, let me tell you. So try the best that you can to not get sidetracked Some people spend way too much time on the global market, or they shop global and their storage is full, so they come back and they can't collect anything on their shops, and so they sell a couple items, and then it turns into this vicious cycle of now they're putting things down just to make space. Now they're just looking at the shop and going, okay, what can I produce here to make room? Not what can I produce to make money, but what can I produce to make space? Hang on. All right, sorry about that. I have to have certain calls come in, so. All right, now, next thing that we need to talk about is, boy, let's see, where were we at? We're trying to make money, not spend a bunch of money. We're controlling our spending. We're controlling what what comes in. What you don't want to have happen is just making items that you have the materials for, just simply because you have the materials for them. And that's what a lot of people get into the habit of doing to make space is they're like, oh, I have materials for this, so that's just what I'm going to do. And when you're really trying to make money, that's not the best way to go about it. So let's say that it's a day off from the contest and you want to make some money. And so you're like, well, where do I begin with this production guide? The best thing that you can do is to pick up the guide and go through each shop the best that you can and start making the items that it's on the list that you have the materials for. So if you have the materials for flour, start there. And then once you get into the groove of things, on the next day, you can look up before nighttime, look at the factory stuff and the shops, and the next day will be easier to manage because you'll have all the materials in your inventory that you need. Now, if you're hurting from inventory space to do all this, then you have to ask yourself, what are you doing in the game? What can you rid yourself of? Like for instance, in my case, I'm planning for an epic, so I really don't have anything that I can sell. I can do some VU if I wanted. I can launch some VU, but that's just going to take a bunch of my items that I need for my epic in doing repair, right? So that's no good. Now, in this case, for my epic, I have a bunch of stuff that I really don't need. Like some of this stuff I can easily find on the global market, but a lot of this stuff is just stuff I could sell, For instance, I could post the nails, the bricks. Those are things that you can sell and not feel guilty about. Let's see, let's put this out there. And then we'll do the bricks. There's 20 space. And then we've got some of these war items that I could get rid of. Some of these, I usually don't sell any kind of regionals. I usually sell them for regional coins. But right now, we're going to see here. So I've got 13 ladders. I'm going to use a couple of the planks that I have to make some ladders for my epic project. But typically what you would want to do is you want to make money, and then you want to take whatever opportunities between making money to make back items that you need to actually use, right? And so there's certain items in the game that you're going to be asked for more frequently. Now, if you do a lot of VU, you're going to be asked for probably nails, planks, tape, shovels, hammers, things like that, right? If you do a lot of epics, depending on your level, you're going to be asked for, bread rolls, burgers, gnomes, stuff like that. So it really depends on what it is you're doing and what it is you want to hold on to. For example, if you're a war player, you're going to be holding on to a lot of war items or war item deliveries for war items. So that's going to be even trickier. Now, war is similar to epic projects in the sense that you're donating stuff. But the problem with war is at the end of the day, all you really have to show for is a bunch of war rewards, which are usually war related. War really isn't beneficial, honestly. It's not. I mean, there's ways that you can benefit from launching and getting cards to do your contest to mayor's tasks. But in all actuality, war is not something that you really gain a lot from. Even the little bit of cash and platinum key that you get when you do get a victory, for what you put into it, it's just not ideal, right? Okay, so we are in the process of getting you guys some serious coin here. So you've got at least one item in each shop that is making that is the correct item. Now, for the time being, you have all of your shops producing the right item. Now, this is the perfect time to go through your inventory, rid yourself of anything that is not something that's going to cost you and be a loss. Do not sell any rares that you would need, like Dozer, VU, or storage. Do not hold on to Beach Mountain and all that crap if you don't need it. Airport items, if you don't plan on doing airport upgrades, don't hold on to those. And honestly, if you're anywhere between levels 1 and 43, or, well, 1 and 30 for sure, you shouldn't even be doing any kind of airport upgrades. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go through, you're going to make at least enough room to get whatever it is you need to get going. So in this case, I would not sell barbecue, paint, ladders, tape. You know, you're going to need those. I would definitely sell things that are easy to obtain, like the fridges, anything that you don't think you're going to use to produce and make money, or anything that isn't going to cost you money later, okay? Now, once you've made up enough space to be able to at least hold the things that you need to get the shops running, then just keep filling up your shops. And this will make up a lot of space as well. I'm only producing these because I actually need them. Okay. Normally I wouldn't even produce them. I'd try to sell or buy them. Now, we're going to keep producing. We're going to go through. See, now I've cleared up a little more space. Now, realistically, I'm going to need spatulas, shovels, ladders, drills. I'm going to need all this stuff for my epic project. So if I can run some tokens on this, I can get ahead of the game here on that. Now, this is more of what you would do for an epic prep. But if you were doing money, you would fill it up for whatever it is that you're using to make money, right? Now, that should be plenty ladders for now. And then just think about it as if it was an item that produces a decent amount of money. Let's say that you are unable to find what you need. You can go to whatever group you're in, especially if you're in my group, and you could say, hey, you know, maybe you're trying to get your cap production going. And you're in a rut and you need a couple tape. Just say that, you know, and you'll be able to at least get it going and long enough until you can figure something out to get the materials that you need. And once you start the groove of things and start producing what you need, you'll start to see money rolling, right? As the caps pop out, you can start selling them. You don't need to hold 97 million caps. You can sell those. So we've got a tape here, you know, and just keep going. And as the donuts come up, you can sell them. Now, usually, the other thing too is that people collect something when they don't have to. Let's say that you know you have 11 caps making, right? And you see that there's a couple finished here. You know there's 11 in queue. You know you're going to be on the game for the next few hours. You don't even have to collect it. Just let it sit there, okay? It doesn't need to be collected or sold right this minute if you don't have space for it. Let it all sit there. Work on getting the materials that you need. And what you can do is say, you know what? I've got the materials to make the flour. So I'm going to go ahead, throw down all the stuff to make flour. And then I'm going to take that space that I just cleared up. And I'm going to throw down all the stuff to make the donuts. Take that space I cleared up. Go over to my fashion store. Collect a few things that are done there. And then sell them. Sell the donuts, sell the caps, and then you'll have more space, and then you can kind of shuffle that space and start getting the materials that you need for the caps. You're going to have to shuffle stuff around, but another big mistake that people make is they constantly collect things that they really don't need to collect, right? At the time, like right now, I could collect the sap if I wanted to, but I have stuff making. It's not hurting anything by sitting there, and it would just add to space that I really could use right now. So for the time being, I'm going to let it sit. Now, I would benefit by making some wood so I can get a chair making. Right now, I've got that cap done. I know that I have more caps in queue, right? So I really don't need to collect on that cap either. It can just kind of sit there as well. Now, I need to produce some plastic, wood, metal to get spatulas, shovels, hammers, drills, things like that making. So instead of me collecting those chairs to put one chair down, I'm going to save that space because I could really use it. And I'm just going to scroll over with the arrows. And that way I don't have to collect it and I can still put stuff down. Now, right here, we're going to just keep throwing things down here, and let's see if we have anything that we can make as far as this goes. Oop, wrong one. Here we go. Okay, cool. So I freed up 5 space there. Now we've got something producing. The reason I made a microwave is because I need that for my Epic project. Right here, I'm able to actually launch the VU. In this case, I want to clear up as much space as I can because I need to collect some regional stuff. So I'm actually going to launch the one that costs the most to free up some space. This is going to free up 9 space for me. And this is going to kind of help me out with being able to have enough room to get the stuff that I need to make more money, right? Now, I'm going to be ending this video soon, and I'm actually going to do a video on Epic prep because that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And I think that a lot of people would benefit from actually seeing a high-level person prep for an Epic project. So as soon as this here completes, we're going to go ahead and end this. I hope that it was helpful to you guys. I really hate that damn train. Jesus. You know, I really don't know what else to say when it comes to, you know, you guys making money. Like right here, okay? I have the materials required for this repair here. However, I really can't afford to donate that microwave right now because I have that Epic that I'm doing. So I'm actually going to re-roll that. Now right here, I can definitely afford that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. This is not something, I don't want to donate any beef, so I'm going to say no to that. That wouldn't be too terrible, but I'm not going to do that right now. And definitely not donating that. That's definitely a no. This is why I don't like doing this particular disaster, because it asks for a lot of high levels, like high priced items. Now, I am, let's see, going to collect this super quick so I can get that one in the opening thingy-mabobber. Okay. There we go. Now, put down some plastic here, some metal. Okay, so again, we're just going to do a quick refresh through here, see what we can throw down. Make some room. I've got 9 smoothies, so you know, those aren't too hard to find, actually, so I'm going to hold off on making them just yet. I've got plenty of corn for my epic, plenty of that, plenty of that. Really don't have any veggies, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Now, let's see what else we can, let's advertise a little bit of this to global, try to get some of this cleared out here because these war items are going to take up some room. The bricks, honestly, those are pretty easy to find, so I'm actually going to clear up some space selling these. Okay, so that takes care of that. So hopefully with the not spending and the, you know, kind of shuffling stuff around and things like that, hopefully you guys are able to make some money. But really, honestly, if you want to see a huge difference in coin, stop all your spending. That is key, okay? Just quit with the global market for a couple hours. Really zoom in and narrow in on making the right thing. Okay, don't get any more, no sidetracking. Okay, mission, one mission. You're going to each and every shop, you're grabbing that production guide, and you're making every item we talked about. Okay, no excuses, just make it. Anything that you do purchase from group members or global should be materials that you need to get this going here. Now, if you see a storage or dozer or whatever, no kidding, you should buy it, of course. But realistically, try to stay off the global market for just one day and see the huge difference in, you know, making money and saving money and all that stuff. Okay, stop collecting items as soon as they pop out if you don't have to, because you can utilize that space by getting materials that you need, and try to do the best that you can. Do not pay for road upgrades. Do not buy services that you do not absolutely need. Do not get into the vicious cycle of selling the wrong damn thing. Okay? No more. Don't be like, oh, I'm just going to sell this and this and this just to get, no. I cannot stand it when people complain that they're broke, and then I go to their depot and I see cupboards and paint and ladders and cheese, and I'm just like, oh my God, what in the hell are you doing? Trying to make money. So you're selling off all this shit that doesn't turn a high profit that you can't get back on global? And even if you could, then that would be really stupid. You sell it for $2,200 to buy it back for $2,200, or you sell it for $2,200 to have to make it to make less money than you. Just no. Stop selling certain things, okay? Use them, and if you don't use them and you have your well-rounded stock, like your 10 that you hold, then don't produce them. The less that you have to produce of those, the better, right? The less cheese and melons and things that you have to produce for you, the more items you can produce to make money. Try out all of these tips that I've given you. See what you can do. Let me know how it goes in the comments section. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm going to go ahead and get that epic done. Okay? That epic prep.